Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the iGPFun-F3 series presented by North World Sim. We're here at the lovely Circuit of the Americas here in beautiful Austin, Texas. I'm Austin Knight. I'm joined by Marco Barbanera, and you're here watching the iRacing Esports Network and on Apex Racing TV. Marco, how are you doing today?
Doing fantastic, coming off a beautiful season finale of IndyCar in real life and jumping straight back to the sim racing world with this F3 iGP Fun race at COTA, but who better than you to guide us through the commentary today, because sources tell me you were here yesterday for the Formula Regional Americas event, and so you were up and close with the cars, the track, and well, also as an honorary guest, guest on the pace car.
Yeah, I got to be the honorary pace car rider communicator for the Formula Regional race, the F3 race. If you aren't familiar with the FIA ladder system, we covered the Formula Regional Americas Esports series on here, and well, they invited me to, as a guest of honor to join in on the pace car and enjoy the weekend out there at my favorite track. Well, I live right next to the track, so it was very honest. But yeah, Circuit of the Americas, amazing track. These cars are so amazing. Very fun to drive. The drivers, they absolutely love it compared to sim and real life. And yeah, it was an amazing experience, and y'all are in for a treat.
And of course, we are here for more action. And if you've been following this championship for the past, well, now it's been 7 weeks. So if you want to include also the F3 World Championship, we showed on week 14. You know that the excitement is absolutely always present in this championship. We have so many quick drivers, battles all over the field, and once again today a massive grid of drivers. I think around 55, if I'm not mistaken. Right now 47 drivers have set up a valid lap time in the qualifying session, but of course there are more who are still waiting to set their time, or they maybe have a qualifying ban, and therefore we'll have to start from the back. Leading the way, Austin, Raul Hyman, Stratos Kirlakitsis, Richard Weston, so 3 familiar names. Gianfranco Pagotto from Italy is a new name in front of Aleix Alcaraz.
Yeah.
And our own Luca Varani, series organizer, Marcus G. So some familiar faces and a new face here with Gianfranco in P4.
Yeah, Gianfranco Pagotto, Italian driver, sitting in 4th, and yeah, this is the first time we're seeing of him today. And he is doing absolutely well right now here as he's sitting in the arena section here at COTA. Very fun, very fast switchbacks, and he's going to pull off as he's invalidated his time. Stratos Kirlakitsis coming around the final corner, and he actually gets jumped by Alcaraz. Then he jumps him back. Alcaraz and Stratos are drafting each other. Stratos and Alcaraz both improved on their times, trying to catch up to Raul J. Hyman.
Aleix was the car right in front of me. Aleix, of course, a winner in Barcelona last time around. I think it was last time around, but I mean, we are getting back into that. Unfortunately, it depends on the pros and cons. The cons are very big, of course, of this situation, but we're about to get back, I'm afraid, to that craziness of March, April, and May with 160 broadcasts, per day. So
bring it on!
I mean, what else can we do? But I'm starting to lose track of all the stuff we have been doing. We have a couple of special guests, very quick driver. Just as I was about to click on him, he moves into P12. That's Cameron Dance from the beautiful country of New Zealand. And there he is with his Texans Fitztime Motorsports livery. Let's give a big shout out to our colleague Sam Fitzpatrick, because I think he's still involved with that team as well, being that his name, is there. West at 4th now, and we are waiting for the cars to finish, I am afraid.
Yep, 20 minutes has gone and past. Checker flags are in the air. We now are waiting for drivers to come finish. Matt Laubser comes around and jumps up into 6th place after jumping Luca Verani. Marcus NG, he's coming around turn 19, heading into turn 20, not taking the IndyCar line because here on iRacing that one's banned. A little bit of a good exit, heading across the line. G does not improve on his time, and as I mentioned, the IndyCar line, I should start calling the small 24 hours line because.
Have you seen Raffaele Marcello?
Oh, I've seen the GIF. I've seen the GIF.
There is a video of the all pole position lap he made from the onboard camera, and I was watching that with our colleague Alessandro Dalle Donne, and we were watching it, and every time you went off track, we said 1x, 1x, 1x. And then it was, bad, but not, bad, but expected. Then in the final sector, basically, it became, between
It became the IndyCar line.
between Pagotto jumps to third, by the way, between Blanchimon and the final chicane, where basically he went completely he almost went into the pits to take the final corner. Yeah,
It got ridiculous.
Yeah.
It got ridiculous.
Yeah. Fun fact, that driver, Raffaele Marcello, accused me once, a few months ago, to being biased against his team in an Italian broadcast, which is something that I will never forgive him, especially because, despite being Italian, as you were very well known, my main focus is on the international scene, so I have never heard of those guys. But yeah, he was in the in-race chat, he didn't take some of my comments very nicely. But very, very quick driver. Of course, he won the Suzuka 8 Hours a couple of years ago, and always at the forefront in GT3 racing. Super quick driver with Mercedes especially. Here comes Lucas Lackner. Austin will he have time to come back home? It's a very long lap around here, so maybe
It is a long lap. I think he'll be cut short just a minute. iRacing gives about 3 minutes, so he might have had a little bit of mistake at the start of this because he should have already completed his lap by now, so he might have already had a little bit. Yep, there he goes.
Yeah, Austin, as per usual, on point. And now we will give you the starting grid for race 6 of the championship. Here we go.
55 drivers, and Raul J. Hyman tops them all, followed by Stratos Carlo Gutses, Gianfranco Pagotto in 3rd place, followed by Alex Alcaraz, Richard Wedstead, Matt Laubser, Luca Ferrari, Marcus NG, Adrian Cordero, Luca Maruk, Stuart Minley, Cameron Dance, Philip Lucas, Rob McGuire, Stoney Rosario, Luis Perez, Dave Martin, and Caden Height in 18th, followed by Chuck Morrow, Clark Williams, Zachary Beeson, Daniel Boyd, Russell Kirkwood, Antonio Ruzeski, James Lees, Waldemar Cadella, Andy Flint, and Nolan Alar in 28th, followed by Ben White, Christian Glasmeyer, Adam Tasma, Zoltan Zomoter, Johnny Coco, Clemens Punsengruber, Johan Bergeson, Ron Kolark, Richard Veen, Ricard Bogbird, Lucas Lackner, Steve Rumans, Dirk Provley, Giovanni Saletto, JJ Gonzalez, Clark Cranswick, Reed Dennis, Josh Arnold, Lucas Disreski, Patrick Rowlands in 48th, followed by Luciano Lorenzo, Camille Yuan, Armando Edwards, Marciano Madon, Con Nigan, and Landon Keltz in 54th. And that is your grid here for the iGPFun-F3 series presented by Northworld Sim at big, beautiful Circuit of the Americas.
Stop. You need to stop getting used to the applause because we are getting more and more familiar with the drivers. Therefore,
I know it's getting easier and easier each week.
Easier, yes. I never noticed how skewed the cars are compared to the starting spots on this track.
Oh, they're just doing the Hamilton starting technique. Well, the 5 red lights are coming on, and let's go racing here in Texas at Circuit of the Americas. It's a great start by Hyman, but it's a great start by Pagoda, who's already lined up onto the back end of Hyman. He's looking down to the inside, breaks a little bit early. It's Hyman, Colonel Glitzes. Wedstead makes a big dive, but Hyman goes off the track. Look at Pagoda dive down to the inside of Colonel Glitzes, and Pagoda jumps up into second place. Also fight behind Wedstead and Alcaraz. They jump spot. They're battling side by side as they're entering into the famous S's here at COTA. It's not smart to go too wide through here, and these guys are all singling file out through there. It's a very safe start. Not a lot of drama happening throughout the field, but what a start by Gianfranco Pagoda and Richard Wedstead.
I think you will need to eat your words very soon, Austin, because I think something very bad happened.
I said for most of the part. It's oh my God, 5 wide.
Bit of a traffic jam, but
we got a car spun around on exit and
yeah,
massive traffic jam right there. But the biggest benefiter right there has to be Drzeski in that 40.
You know, it was mostly, my timing screen went all red, but basically it was because most of the drivers went basically to a standstill. Not a lot of wrecks, so that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just one spin, and people were just being cautious, very, very avoidant, unlike in the iRacing official series. Hyman pulling away, Stratos Colonel Glitzes trying to fight it off. What a dive by Richard Wedstead in the hairpin of the arena. Alcaraz also jumping in, ball Pagoda right there as we head into the quadruple right-hander of the tower turn. As we're looking at this fight right behind us between Alcaraz and Pagoda, they're going side by side, heading into turn 19. A little bit of a switchback attempt by Pagoda. He's getting right up on the gearbox as they head into turn 20 and starting another beautiful lap here. But all of them going a little bit wide, trying to get some advantage, heading down the back straight, getting all up in that draft. Here it comes. Oh, that's midline spun around. That's a very common spot. You gotta watch out. Here comes Pagoda down to the inside of Alcaraz. Big lockup mid-corner. Alcaraz trying to go for that switchback. Off the track goes Pagoda. And they're still side by side heading through turn 2. And into the SS they go. They're going to take it all the way to the madhouse. Side by side through the SS. Pagoda checks up smartly. And Alcaraz stays in 4th place. And Laubser getting very close and almost into Pagoda.
I mean,
we have a
fantastic
we have
also.
chaos in the S's. But I believe it's just one car involved, so we don't need to cover it.
I think it was Sonny Rosario who went went a bit wide there, or maybe even crashed. As in the meantime, Matthew Laubser was looking to get close to Pagoda, but now he's got Luca Varani in his gearbox, quite literally.
Yeah, look at Varani all buried up in there. He flings down low, forcing Laubser to stay a bit wide, but the draft is out there because Laubser is in the draft of the other car. So Varani trying to sip up as much draft as he can. He's going to send it into the braking zone. Side by side, they go off to the exit. Varani unable to do it. Matt Laubser excellently defended around to the outside, and now he's got the inside line, and he's got that position already sealed up and ready to go. But this dive right here into this corner, it's a double apex corner, and you can do the around and back of the switchback move as Varani tried to pull that off right there, but you got 23 laps. You got a long time for this to work. You got a battle for 15th between Beeson and Maru and Heights right here. Caitlin Heights, she's up into 15th. 3 spots up from where she qualified.
You know, some of our usual... Oh, well, Cameron Dance didn't even start the race, unfortunately, so maybe a connection issue for him. And I'm looking at some of our front runners, for example, Luciano Lorenzo, who was, I think, had a qualifying ban. He's up into 40th place, but in front of him, you know, there's a lot of big fights, and, you know, in a while, not now, we'll bring the dancing grey Dots of Doom to give you an even better perspective.
Just looking down to the inside in that shot as we ride on board, and Cordero got onto the curb, the sausage curbs of Doom, and let me tell you, they're that big in real life as well, and they will flip your car. As a car this morning in the Formula 4 U.S. Championship was flipped over by hitting one of those curbs.
Yeah, he was lucky that he just, you know, had a little bit. Oh, Varane went wide, very wide, and lost a couple of seconds. He was lucky because it would have been a lot worse for him. Thankfully,
Yeah, put it
he
up
managed.
into the wall and ended his race.
You know, especially because if you hit it with the suspension, with the, you know, the front or the rear wheels, you're usually going to get a suspension failure. If you hit it with your front wing, you are getting flipped. So, oh!
Yeah, and he's gonna pull off. Gordero is gonna pull off and tow. He suspects something is wrong with his car. He might have some suspension damage. Let's take a look at that replay. Did Gordero get some suspension damage from here by hitting turn 3? Yeah, that's a toe in. Yeah, that is suspension damage for sure.
Let's see the rear wheels. It seemed okay, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a massive bump in there mid-corner in real life. It is here on iRacing, but is not as prominent as it is in cars. And you'll see a bunch of sparks coming around turn 4 here at COTA. And it was a very showtimey spot in real life over the weekend. Russell Kirkwood and James Luis, the battle for 17th. James getting a good exit. Kirkwood just staying with him right there. Russell Kirkwood.
Yeah, there is this, sorry Austin, there's this big pack. It is another guy that we always see at the front of the field or there or thereabouts. Is Dave Martin. Once again, you know, we are talking, we are so ingrained in our heads to think that P16 is, you know, bad or not very good.
No, you're in the top half of the field.
Yeah.
Here.
So I mean,
like you're in the top half of the top half. That is incredibly good. The top 25% of this grid.
I mean, we have 54 cars taking the start, so basically the top third of the field still, you know, if you are Dave Martin, who goes for the move on Katie Hyde, which I think has raced in the past on Apex Racing TV on the Euro V8 Championship, if memory serves me right. You know, these of course completely different race cars. As I'm sure Scott McLaughlin, I know he knows it already, you know. Say big hello to Scott, of course, who has raced for Apex Racing Team in the past few months, and a bit of an unlucky race, but always nice to see him, you know. I love drivers who can compete on multiple fronts, you know, and put themselves, you know, my favorite driver of all time, Juan Pablo Montoya, was not one to shy away from any kind of challenge, you know, so was it for F1, Champ Car, of course IRL, NASCAR, prototypes, sports cars, and
still racing.
Yeah, still going strong, still my favorite driver of all time.
Yeah, my favorite driver of all time has to be Mario Andretti. I'm showing a little bit of bias, but because IndyCar, but IndyCar, F1, NASCAR, he's dominated and he's won races, and especially one of the hardest races to win, the Daytona 500 and the Indy 500. I need to go talk to Russell Kirkwood, see if he's related to the Formula 4 and Formula Regional champion Kyle Kirkwood back in 2017. So we're looking at this battle for 10th. McGuire and Beeson all racing now that massive half-mile straight here at a Circuit of the Americas. McGuire all in that Draz. He's got a great run looking down the inside. He's sending it lined up side by side, heading down onto the inside. Jumps over that little curb right there, which is very dangerous if you hit it at a certain speed. And he makes that move up into 12th.
Allaire just went past, I think, Glensetter, maybe. As we go back to this fight, because also Lucas Maruca, as you can see, is now part of the festivities at the front of the field. Just very quickly, Raul Hyman is doing Raul Hyman things now. Of course, if you remember, he was having a very nice and almost relaxing, dare I say, run at Barcelona, and then a wheel failure cost him, forced him to park off the track, unplug his wheel, replug it, and I think in the end he got 6th or 5th, if I'm not mistaken. But
It was the top 10.
Yeah, basically anything can happen, and probably will in this championship, so not over at all. Let's go back to these guys here. As I was saying, Perez, Maruk, Maguire, Bison, Chuck Mauro. Chuck Mauro, another of the drivers who's always in a battle, and unfortunately for him, more often than not, always or often on the bad side of luck. Let's see if he can. Oh, as Wetstead gets passed by
Pagoda. He's got a slowdown.
And Alcaraz.
He had a slowdown coming out of turn 9. It's a blind corner. If you just go a little bit wide or cut the track, and yep, that's where he got that slowdown penalty right there. There he goes down to the inside, cuts it again, and pulls out and parks it on the low side of the track to let everyone by and not impede them on his penalty. And here comes Moreau on Beeson. Side by side they go, and Chuck Moreau, he's got the position heading into the corner, but does he have it through the braking? We've seen Beeson defend very well, hops over the curb. Here comes Beeson off the attack. Still side by side as they enter the arena. Side by side for that double right-hander. Chuck Moreau unable to capitalize. What a defense by Beeson. He's got another corner to worry about. Big lockup this might be for Chuck Moreau, but he's got to check up as a great defense by Beeson.
Great stuff there, so Chuck Moreau has to wait, and now Dave Martin is officially in this train as well. Maybe also Katie Hyde can join this party as well, as the drivers are on the start-finish line once again. Lap number 7 is in the... Well, lap number 6 is in the books, lap number 7 starting right now. And still they go in a line, these guys, and the draft so important with this car. And that's why, I mean, this is one of the perfect places to race. And I would say, Austin, that one of the few cars, I think this one, where you can race at COTA maybe with a single monitor. I mean, it's still tough to get the apexes, but at least you don't have any pillars stopping you, like when you're in a prototype or a GT.
Oh, yeah, it's very difficult to race at Circuit of the Americas on a single monitor. I believe that's why it kind of gets a bad rep in sims, because it's very hard to race this track on a single monitor. But if you get multiple monitors around, or even in VR, it is a blast to drive this track, and it provides some of the best fights here in sim racing and in real life, especially if you're very close and in very drafty cars with each other.
And, Alex Alcaraz is around.
Alcaraz spun around, and this is in the turn 12. So, believe he might have hit that apex curb and went around for a ride, or just got onto the throttle just a little bit too much and, went around for the ride. How he got there, yeah, just too much speed. It's a very, very risky rejoin right there. Just not even waiting for anyone else. He saw his move and he went for it. That top 10 spot here in iGPFun is very prestigious. Out of 55 cars, only 10 of them can get that, and well, you gotta practice hard to get up to these guys' times. Alcaraz much slower. It drops down to 6th place. Shadows Curl gets this, jumps up into 2nd. Gianfranco Pagodo. Our top 3 hasn't changed at all as they revert back to their qualifying order.
Let's see the biggest movers and shakers.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
Alcaraz just popped hard on that curb. Biggest mover of the race so far is, this is the one where you actually have to do a bit of searching for, but it's Luciano Lorenzo, up 17 spots, and him in that iGP Fun green car. He's currently in that battle for 32nd. He's being chased by Milani. He's trying to catch up to Arnold, who's up 15 spots. And, well, they're still trying to battle for that halfway position in this race.
Alcaraz wants to come back at Laubser, wants to redeem himself from his mistake.
He's not going to risk that from that far back.
Yeah. I mean, if something we have seen from these drivers, especially at the pointy end of the field, but I'd say everywhere in the field. But you know, it's particularly good when it happens, especially at the front of the field. The drivers, despite being very competitive and very quick, they are all super respectful of each other. We have rarely seen any kind of bonehead move, and it's all the fights are very clean, very nice, very tough, and I'm sure that Laubser and Alcaraz are going to be in this for quite a few laps now as we go back on the start-finish straight. And another lap is in the books and another one start. Lap number 9 out of 23, and you can see from the rear view camera of Laubser that Alcaraz might be thinking about it. Ooh.
Risky dive. He's got his nose in there, hit that curb on Apex. Saw a big wiggle by Laubser, wanting to get a good exit. That could have got very bad for both those drivers, especially if he went spinning around. But both these guys, they know how to control this car around here. But Alcaraz looking a little bit feisty, wanted to put a little bit of spice on track and try to make out that spot, get into the top 5.
And while we are at it, let's say a big shout out to Northward Sim NWS, simulator parts and innovative solutions. Your sim racing house, cockpits, pedals, steering wheels, parts, all you need it, here you have it. www.northwsim.com. NorthWsim, tu especialista en sim racing. Is that bit of Spanish at the end that makes it, you know, sound very professional.
Yes. And here's Laubser under attack by Alcaraz. Alcaraz showing his nose in there and forcing the mistake out of Laubser. And Laubser getting a little bit loose, and Alcaraz now going down to the inside. He's going to go for that first dive. There he goes, and he secured it right there. But now Laubser is going to be on the advantage on the attack. He's going for that over-under move. He's going wide, then he's going back low. But Alcaraz held him off on corner entry, and what a move by Alex Alcaraz.
Fantastic stuff, and back in front of Matt Laubser. Then now it's Richard Wedstead is in his radar. Next, in the meantime, I think that Dave Martin went past Chuck Mauro there. Let's see if we can very quickly there go to a replay, because it must have been a very nice pass.
It's on the straight. Dave Martin and Mauro side by side on corner entry. Oh man, he's got a lot of speed. What a send! And a little bit of a force off.
Yep.
That was a very risky dive by Dave Martin, but they made it work, and they're continuing their battle, and around goes McGuire!
Just in front of this fight.
Rod McGuire was in a battle with, is that Maruk?
Maruk, yeah. Number 19 Maruk. I don't know his own.
And it's just too much speed on his end. Too much speed on the corner entry.
You know,
it's very easy to misjudge that, because you're using gravity to help brake the car. These guys brake extremely late. No matter what car, like, gravity just helps slow that car down so fast, especially combined with the downforce of these guys and the braking force that are in the car. It's a very odd braking zone.
As here we go, Matt Laubser again on Alcaraz, with Luca Varani waiting in the wings, lurking just behind them. And
Laubser's got it.
Alcaraz.
Alcaraz, same move, but this time he goes a little bit wide, had a mistake on corner exit, and now Laubser round the outside. Alcaraz down the inside, sneaks his way back in there. Laubser didn't try to go for that over and under move, and it is Alcaraz back into 5th. And we got a good battle as well for 23rd between Brzezinski and Glamsetter.
Yeah, I was bringing up the weather earlier, and the tarmac seems to be, you know, in good condition. Seems to be almost perfect for racing. I was expecting, I mean, not expecting. I mean, we have just had a couple of spins, at least with the caught on camera, but the sun is going down. It's I wanted to say now winter time, but not. It's not, of course. Not for you, of course. So.
Hey Marco, you wanna know what's something funny? That air temperature yesterday, it was exactly the same air temperature it was during the Formula regional race.
See, you know, we have to wait. We have to wait like 10 years to get dynamic weather in iRacing, at least, you know, dynamic temperatures, etc. But at least we got it. You know, it works decently well. We are on the Esports Network, by the way, so thank you iRacing for giving us this great platform. Dave Martin went past Lucas Maruk then. Chuck Mauro, Katie Hyde still fighting hard for that P15. Massive fights all over the place. Ricard Boberg and Sonny Rosario here with Tulis. Is there Johnny Cock?
Oh!
I think he got.
Nah, I think it just got caught out. It's a very tricky rhythm section. Might have something going wrong with his equipment, because it was a very what was the word? Calm departure from the track.
Yeah. It was not like he didn't, you know, lose control or spin or overdrive the car. It just went, you know, just.
What's the sudden snap? And Raul J. Hyman is closing in on a lap car.
You know, I know that that is code for the dancing dots of doom on the screen.
Yeah. So let's bring up our dancing dots of doom, and gosh, I love this track wrap so much. Raul J. Hyman putting the first car a lap down that is still on track. Oh, 2 cars a lap down. There's a car coming out of the pit lane.
Yeah, and in this lap, pretty much equal with the Kirlakidis, but of course equal is still in favor of Hyman, because Kirlakidis now has to close a 6 seconds gap, and I'm sure that Raul is has made all the taken all the precautions necessary during the week to avoid any equipment malfunction for you know, for today. So he doesn't want to.
That's all you need.
I mean, basically this is the same situation he had last week. Was leading by a comfortable margin, and then around halfway through, the disaster struck for him. So, misclicked of course, but back to Lucas Maruk, Dave Martin, and Chuck Mauro with Katie Hyde there. Another fight here, Glamsetter, Korolak, Valdemar Cardella from Brazil, all fighting hard for P23.
Yeah, Valdemar Cardella leading out this group. Glamsetter and Korolak, both of them have been charging up the field, and they're closing in on Cardella. So they need to watch out. Rzeski made this pass, and he's moved on.
As we've passed the halfway mark of the race, Austin, and look at the. I love these corners, especially in a sim racing kind of world, or you know, any racing that's not F1, because you can take them in very different ways, and they give you a lot of creative ideas for making a pass.
Indeed, they do. You can. There are like 3 different ways you can take a few of these corners. There's the regular racing line, there's the over and under line, and then there's the yeet line. And there's that over and under line being presented to us right there by Johnny Coco. He's going to try another over under move, and we got a car spun around. That's Glamsetter.
Yeah, the fight we're following up until a moment ago, the commentator's curse, the camera director's curse of moving the cameras away, and then something happening straight after. Oh, that was a bit late in the.
It was a spin
in the crash. Okay,
to quote a few F1 fans, this is the Seb Spinella corner, and it was a bump on the back end, and unfortunately, there goes the wing.
Yeah. Was that Ron Korolak? That was Ron Korolak who hit him. And now
Korolak spins as well.
Yeah, I think he's having some issue with his car.
Ooh, is that his crab I see? I think that might be small crab.
Oh dear.
Oh, very late on the brakes. Big slide. If something's wrong with that car.
Yeah,
Might have a rear tire issue. No, wait, no, front tire issue.
You can see on the bottom of the screen, Lemsetter unfortunately having to go to the pits for repairs. Dave Martin and Lucas Baruch and Chuck Mauro, I swear, have been fighting since the first lap.
They are very familiar with each other's paint schemes by now, I can tell you that. But Maru Maruk sounds like a sitcom.
Martin, Mauro, and Maruk, yeah.
The 3 M's, the M&M's. Racing around here at COTA.
Like Seinfeld, Constanza, and Kramer, no?
Yeah.
Where else can you find an Italian commentator that can drop Seinfeld references, Austin? I mean,
only on Apex Racing TV and the iRacing Esports Network. Only you would drop Seinfeld references. And then you have the American references friends all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that is, I wouldn't say expected, but, you know.
Hey, wildcard, what do you expect me to do? I did the unexpected.
You are quite correct. Raul Hyman.
That's an Always Sunny in Philadelphia reference.
Hyman enjoying a nice day in the sun. Sunset, let's see, the sun is about, I wouldn't say to go down, but, you know, he's enjoying a nice day out.
Being blinded. Let me tell you, it is a blinding sun staring into that, but here on iRacing, the sunsets here, they'll blind you, but it's just beautiful. Only on iRacing would you call something that hurts your eyes beautiful. Maru in the draft of Martin. He's getting a good run, shows his nose, just letting him know that he's there, so don't do anything stupid. Staying with Martin. Martin, big lockup on corner entry. It's not affecting his car that much. But Mario, you can just hear him attacking those gears.
Yeah, I mean, he's putting that car deep into the braking areas. Good. Now, of course, even these cars were, you know, they are little Formula cars. They suffer a bit from aero push in this a couple of corners, and then, of course, back to the double left-hander. Oh, the worst places for a rolling start in all of iRacing, might I? Oh, careful there.
Ooh. Second worst place.
What's the worst place?
That'll be Gilles Villeneuve.
Yes. I agree with you.
Matt Laubs are a little bit of a disconnect. Let's go to our favorite car on track. Well, my personal favorite car on track. The Pink Cat car of Antonio Ruzewski.
Yeah.
Of all the parody liveries we have.
I've never seen the rear wing with the.
I think that's new.
He's purring, of course, and proudly showing that iGPFun logo, Pink Cat, totally not a Red Bull, and Mio Mio on the side.
I love this car.
Man,
it's probably the best, parody scheme I've seen. But Antonio Ruzewski purring it along here at COTA, up 3 spots, and he's chasing out Adam Talsma ahead of him, who's up 11 spots. Let's go back to our biggest mover, Luciano Lorenzo. He's up 21 spots now, and he sits in 28th. Oh, there was somebody stopped on the inside right there. Believe that was the lap car. Someone will slow down.
Yeah, one of the lap cars moved away from the racing line to let Luciano through.
What's that on this side pod? Is that a leprechaun?
Let's see.
He's got like some mascot on the side of his car.
Yeah, I don't.
It's like looks like a leprechaun on a surfboard. Well, we got a ding-dong battle for 10th, though. Perez and Beeson. Beeson going wide for that switchback. Not going to be able to, but he has closed down a lot. 210 separates these guys. The 212 and the 42 are racing out for that top 10 spot. And Perez definitely wants to hold on to that. Here, lap 16 out of 23.
Yeah, Perez has been there for quite a bit of time, but now Bison has slowly closed the gap. Let's see if I remember it correctly. Yes, there is. So he's now looking at a possible fight and attack for P10. A creative line here from Bison. Now Dave Martin, Chuck Mauro, Lucas Baruch, Katie Hyde all joining the party. So this could get very crowded very quickly, and already some weaving.
Some weaving, a little bit of draft hurting right there. Perez following, just staying in that middle line. Beeson trying to look around to the outside. This can work, but it can also hurt him. Now he's going to be stuck onto the inside unless Perez has a lot of room. Beeson sending in there. Perez going to try to go for that switchback. Expecting Beeson to slow up more, but Beeson, he just went up there and took it. Ooh, and look at this, sent out of nowhere by Martin. Big lockup. Perez holds it right there. Martin just tried to go for a very daring move, and now look onto his inside. Almost onto the Verstappen line is Maru on Martin.
So now Bison will try to pull away as quickly as possible, hoping for some infighting in this little group behind him. And this will be like the only moment of respite that we will have for like the past 18 laps as they go past the start finish line once again. Perez leading this little group now. And up the hill they go once again. Briefly disappearing and then reappearing. There's a dive.
Oh!
There's the pass.
Very late push and a little bit of wheel contact between them. But now Perez back onto the attack down to the inside of turn 2. Martin, Perez side by side as they enter the S's. And now Perez being overtaken by Martin. Now Chuck Maru onto the back of Perez. Luis Perez under attack every corner now. Just different shades of yellow and different shades of cars. Just each time by sticking their nose in on that 212 of Luis Carlos Perez. Ooh. Very different lines that Mario and Perez are taking. Mario's going for all the apexes and Perez is going for all the aces, get enough speed, but Chuck Morrow is just trying to get as close as possible to get enough draft to try to go for it in the next corner. He's not going to be able to be as close enough for this corner, so he doesn't have to worry. Perez, though, he's going to try to press luck at all, but Chuck Morrow is closing in more and more. He's seeing a door of opportunity. This is where Martin tried that very dangerous dive up the inside, and we're going to see it again from Morrow, and around goes Morrow. No.
Fantastic race. I mean, it's fantastic race once again, being compromised, and this time his hopes of a good top 10 finish in a puff on the power too early. A bit too eager there was Chuck Mauro, unfortunately, and now he has to fight back. Now he's in P16 and he has lost almost 10 seconds to the group he was fighting with earlier.
Yeah, he has lost fight. Now it's on the back of Rod McGuire in front of him.
To see if I can find my favorite livery, one of my favorite liveries, but poor Adrian Cordero has had a very short race, has already retired, so no dice, unfortunately. Chuck Mauro.
No.
Was very aggressive from Chuck, trying to get past
A
Maguire.
little bit of red minute. He's got a little bit of red mist going on. He needs to take a breather and try to chase him down. Big spin by Andy Flint.
This was just behind Chuck, Austin.
Yeah, it was. This is coming out of the S's into probably the most technical part of the track. The 50s right there. Oh, no!
Ouch. That was with Landon Kelt, who was a couple of laps down.
Yeah.
Misunderstanding between the pair of them.
It's such a difficult part of the track to see where the other car is because it's a very rhythmic track and the racing line is so narrow through there because you got that immediate left-hander right after that rising right-hander. Then it's a blind apex just above it.
Thank you, David, for subscribing to us on Apex Racing TV. I don't know if which one of the 3 streams you're watching right now, but no matter what, thank you for subscribing. It's getting closer for second place, I think. Let's see.
Yeah, Stratoscope Blitz is being caught by Gianfranco Pagotto. Yeah, Gianfranco is closing in little by little each lap. Soon he's going to be started to get into that draft. Strato's getting very wide, so is Giovanni. They're taking the small lines here. McGuire and Morrow side by side. Rob McGuire holding that outside line very well. He's going to have a good exit for that inside line of turn 2, and Rod McGuire defends from Chuck Morrow, who is not giving up right now, and Chuck definitely wants that top 15 spot, which is kind of like a top 10, especially in this field. And Andy Flint and Nolan Alaire both into the pits.
Andy Flint, I think, having to repair damage.
Yeah.
That contact earlier.
Baruch and Katie Height. Caitlin Height. I don't know why I just called her Katie.
Because in Euro V8 she was racing as Katie Height.
Ah.
But I might be wrong. Huh?
I didn't cover Euro V8 though, so I don't know.
I did, you know. So.
Well, Caitlin, Patricia sent it down to the inside, but unfortunately a little bit too deep. And Lucas Baruch stays in 13th.
Austin, you have to trust your senpai. As per usual.
As Maru and McGuire. Maru made a great move down to the inside in that double right-hand corner, and Chuck is up and back into 15th place, but he's got to catch up to Caitlin and Lucas ahead of him. And
Kichi Sempagotto has increased to 1.2 seconds in the last time they went on the start-finish straight. In the meantime, these guys have had the most TV coverage, guys and girls of course, have had the most TV coverage of the day, this little group here. And I tell you what, if they keep on battling, maybe Chuck Mauro can get back at least in the fight for P13, but laps are counting down, as you can see, Austin. We only have 4 to go. Raul Hyman there, leading the way in a livery that's very, very similar to his real-life F3 car, if I know, in which he won the F3 Asia series. Was the F3 Asia series? Let me check, because I am...
It was the F3 Asia series.
Very forgetful.
The South African living in the UK leading out the field. And there was also another South African making rounds over at COTA. So a lot of South African drivers branching out and racing internationally.
When you said the South African leading in the UK, I thought you were talking about Dane Bird, our colleague.
No, I'm not talking about Dane.
Hi Dane, if you're following us, don't put too many screenshots of your McLaren in the social media posts.
Yeah, he likes putting that McLaren up there, even though for a series that isn't a McLaren.
It's incredible since we have managed to be semi-serious or semi-professional for the first 5 rounds. In the 6th round of the championship, the viewers of the iGPFun series, you know, finally have to contend with the real. Oh, Richard Wetstead is off from 4th place, and Alcaraz passes him.
Alcaraz back into 4th. And,
oh no! Wait! No replay! No replay! Back live! Quick! Work! Because Pagotto is basically glued to the rear of Kirlakitsis. What's going on here?
Stratos going to get to set this purple sector time in Sector 1, but I believe he may have cut the track coming into Sector 2. And now, Stratos going to Glitzes and Gianfranco Pagotto are nose to tail right now. And what's even crazier, the top 8 are back in their qualifying order.
Yes, sir.
And now Stratos weaving down the backstretch. 3 laps to go. Gianfranco Pagotto sends it all the way over into the red paint down the inside. Separated by a mile. And Gianfranco Pagotto's up into 2nd place.
Fantastic stuff. Let's stay with this duel for a few seconds more and see if Kirlakitsis has an answer. Then we will catch what happened to Richard Wetstead. I dare go now to the replay before they go back on the start-finish straight. Here we go. Richard Wetstead all on his own, Austin. Then something
a little bit too much mustard. Lap car on the
maybe
inside.
that lap car coming out of the pits.
Oh no, I see this lap car. I see this lap. Well, just a little bit too much mustard.
Yes, too much mustard as he goes around. And now, of course, he has to crawl back to Wetstead. Let's see. Let's go back to fight for second, because I think that Kirlakitsis is not done just yet.
Big sight! Kirlakitsis is around! Stratos is around! And where's Alcaraz? Where's Alcaraz? Ooh. Not close enough to drop a position, but that has certainly dropped him out of the battle for 2nd place, because a few lap cars passed him right there. So Stratos is not directly behind Pagotto anymore.
That was a commentator scores of the highest quality, like almost in real time for poor Stratos. I apologize. Let's see. He went. I mean, maybe the same mistake that Wetstead made, because yeah, there was no contact. Virtually identical spin.
Yeah.
Tires are about to go, and I mean, with
tires are out, I believe.
Yeah, one and a half laps left. You know.
The mechanical grip here is very high on the tires, so later on in the race, expect a lot of sliding to be happening. But even though I pretty much Raul J. Hyman has got that Lewis Hamilton factor where, oh, the tires are wearing out, purple sector 2. But then again, tires are wearing out, but you got less fuel. And around is Martin.
He was defending from Luis Carlos Perez, probably. Or was he attacking Perez? No, he was...
He's got the black and orange car in front of him.
That is...
the black and gold car. That is Beeson.
Yeah. White flag is in the air, by the way.
White flag in the air, and well, I don't really have a Texan saying for one last lap, so I'm just going to give it to Marco, who's got a very special saying for white flag.
Salela Blanca here in Circuit of the Americas. One more trip around for Hyman, Pagotto, Kirlakitsis, and the rest of the fantastic protagonists of today's nights, depending where you are in the world. Round 6 of this fantastic iGPFun-F3 championship with VRS. And we might have a last gasp fight for 4th place, even though Wetstead is 7/10 of a second away, so still not close enough to try and go for a move, but there's some lap traffic there at the front. We'll see, as our race leader is already all the way up to the halfway point of his last lap.
Scott Manal put a great suggestion in the chat. Lone Stars! 1 lap to go. I'm going to start using it. Thanks, Scott. It's Alcaraz defending from Wetstead. Both these guys had a big issue so far in this race, but they fought their way back up into 4th and 5th. And Alcaraz under attack. Last out by Richard Wetstead. Alcaraz defending down low. Westhead going even lower. Then he's going back around to the outside. Alcaraz is passed right now. Westhead and Alcaraz. Westhead and Alcaraz side by side. They have a few lap cars. Alcaraz taking the wild line. Westhead going for that switchback move. Now Westhead going on to the outside. Alcaraz defending onto the inside. Westhead swings it around to the outside, but it gets a little bit loosened. Whoa, what a save by Westhead. He's like riding a bull right here in Texas around that double right-hander. And now Alcaraz and Westhead are both being affected by this dirty error of the cars in front of him through the quadruple right-hander. Back to Raul J. Hyman, who's going to around the turn 20, and he's going to take the win here at Circuit of the Americas. Back to the fight between Alcaraz and Westhead in the battle for fourth. And Alcaraz and Westhead one final last daring dive, and around, unfortunately, goes Westhead. And he gets that overtaken by Matt Laubser, who's going to steal a top 5.
Pagotto second, Kirlakitsis third. Incredible end of the race. Laubser really getting gifted by Westhead there, but Westhead was giving it all to get past Alcaraz. Beautiful stuff. Let's see all the other drivers coming home. Katie Height finishes in 12th place behind Luis Carlos Perez. Lucas Maruk then beats Dave Martin and Chuck Mauro, who almost made it back to the pack he was fighting with before his mistake. Another
Rob McGuire.
Yeah, here we go with also shout out to Luciano Lorenzo, who's coming home in 23rd, plus 26 should be the biggest mover of the race.
He is the biggest mover of the race. I'm going to. He always gave us a little salute right there with that wiggle. I think he's had a blast of a time here. Very happy. As I'm going to start looking in on his car, see what's on that.
Rubens and Milne, the American and the Scotsman fighting for P27. Coming into the final corner, here we go. The attack from the Scotsman doesn't work, and so it's Rubens finishing in front, and then we just have a couple of the last few drivers who still have to cross the start-finish line. Reed Dennis, who had a very tough race, Patrick Rowlands and Landon Kelt are the last 3 drivers we are waiting for, but Raul Hyman taking a parade lap for once, and I love, you know, focusing on the driver during his parade lap, and do my beloved, something I haven't done in a while, slow motion for the race winner, which has been absolutely in control, and a great way to bounce back after the disappointment, Austin, of Barcelona last week.
Yeah, it was a great win and a great comeback for Raul J. Hyman, who is back in the winner's circle, and well, no issues this week, so he's going to be very happy about that.
And in the meantime, let's give you the race results. And as, if I'm not mistaken, it is my duty, given that we are at the end of the race, to go through them. And so here we go. The race results from Circuit of the Americas, round 6 of the championship. Then Raul Hyman wins over Gianfranco Pagotto and Stratos Kirlakitsis. Then we have Aleš Alcaraz in 4th in front of Matt Laubser, and Richard Westhead. Luca Varani finishes in 7th in front of Marcus G, Phil Lucas and Zachary Bison in 10th. 11th place was and 12th place for 2 drivers that I think were having their first race of the season, Luis Perez and Katie Height. Then Lucas Maruk, Dave Martin, Chuck Mauro were together all race long in front of Ron Maguire, Russell Kirkwood. Ben White was 18th, and rounding up your top 20 were Adam Tasma and Pink Cat of Antonio Rusevski from North Macedonia. Going forwards, we have Sonny Rosario and Valdemar Cardella, who was in front of the biggest mover of the race, Luciano Lorenzo, then Richard Boberg, Ron Korolak, Andy Flint. Steve Rubens pips, well, beats, not pips, just at the last corner, just in front of Stuart Mill in 28th. Daniel Bond and Giovanni Sellito round up your top 30. Going forward, Nolan Lair and Clemens Punzengruber, together with Christian Glamsetter, they round up your lead lap finishers. One lap down were JJ Gonzalez, Dirk Provely, Can Ginn, Armando Edwards, Johnny Cocco, Josh Arnolds, my apologies, and Reed Dennis. And then we also had Patrick Rowlands and Landon Kelt. 4 laps down were Richard Veen. 6 laps down was Marcio Marotti. And then your retirees for tonight's event were James Tullis, Karl Kranswick, Lukas Derejski, Lucas Lackner, Adrian Cordero, unfortunately, Clark Williams, Zoltan Zumotor, Johan Birgersson, and did not start the race, I think, both Cameron Dance, despite his very good qualifying performance, and Camille Yunan finishes 54th. So these were your results from Circuit of the Americas, and I think Austin is standing by with the boss, Luca Varani.
Yes, I am. I'm going to give a big old howdy, howdy, howdy. Texas, welcome to Luca Ferrani. Luca, how was that race? And how was this field today?
Hello, guys. I'm gonna ask questions today. How was the real life track, Austin? Tell us something.
Oh, it was a blast out there. Y'all gave a great show, just like the real life cars did today. And, well, just like in sim and in real life, Circuit of the Americas proving to be one of the best racetracks out there in the world. I'm gonna say that till I die.
Okay, no comment there. It's not my track. I've never been very good here. So I went for a defensive strategy. I put on a lot of wings. I don't know if you noticed, but I exited the draft of Matt in the early race, lap 2 or so, and I was just planted there. I couldn't even get alongside him. So that was my set today. But it turned out okay. I had the car, I was driving conservatively, and that was fine.
Yeah, it was very hard to get free of the draft, but once you did that, you get up there and you finished 7th today, and you were 222. What's the challenge is getting a fast time around here?
In qualify, yes, because of off tracks, it's really very, very easy to get a wheel in the wrong place and lose a lap. So looking at the qualify time, everybody actually was pretty much where it was expected. I mean, we had Raul up front as usual, it's just in another class. And then a bunch of guy around 57.0, 57.1. I was the first one of the third pack, let's say. Uh, Again, I said it last week, it is a competitive field. If you are on the 2 or 3 times of your pace, you're going to pay for it.
You certainly are, and well, it's the first of 3 rounds in the American leg of IGP Fun. Next race is at Detroit Grand Prix over at Belle Isle. What are the challenges of that track and this field going into there?
Well, that's scary. Can you imagine 60 cars or 50 on that track? A lot of bumps, uneven surface, walls everywhere. I fear catastrophic results, but it's going to be interesting. Let's see. Worth watching, I think.
It definitely is going to be a must watch over at Detroit. Going to throw it over to Marco to see if he has any questions.
Yeah, we just wanted to thank, of course, Luca for another fantastic race. This series never fails to deliver, and wanted, just to ask him if he has, something, someone to say hello and some shout outs, and this is the moment.
As usual, thank you to everybody that watches us. If you want to join us on the Discord channel or on track, please do so. There are a lot of very helpful people, a lot of setup development discussion and general help. Whatever problem you have, come by and somebody will answer. Apart from that, a big thanks to our sponsor, Northward Sim Racing. If you are into the market for steering wheels, rigs, sim racing rigs, gloves, brakes, high quality brakes, just visit their shop. And thank you guys for broadcasting. You always do a very, very nice job, really excellent job. We are very happy to have you broadcasting our races.
Thanks a lot, Luca. I'll give the ball back to Austin if he has any final thoughts for you. And yeah, Austin, take it away.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us here on the iRacing Esports Network and Apex Racing TV for another fantastic round here of the iGP Fun Championship here at the one, the only circuit of the Americas here in beautiful Austin, Texas. Amazing race as always, and we're getting ready for next week at Detroit for the Belle Isle of Street Circuit here. Race number 2 in the triple header of America here in the IGP Fun League. And I've been joined by Marco Barbanera. I'm Austin Knight, and I hope you all have a fantastic night.